What's up, YouTube? This week I'm going to be reviewing Legendary, a Marvel deck building game. So, Legendary, a Marvel deck building game, is basically a cooperative deck building game. It's a deck building game is where you start with a certain base cards, and throughout the game you build your deck with new cards that you can purchase on the board, or in this case on the board. But that's basically how a deck building game works. So you're getting a better deck as the game goes on. But this is different because it's cooperative. So let's get into the overview and I can kind of explain how that works. So I don't have everything out here, but just to give you an idea, you have this huge board, which I really like because it really has a place for everything, and it keeps the game pretty much confined onto here except for your play area and your hand. But basically, you start with a certain amount of base cards, and as the game progresses, you will be buying these hero cards on this row, and there's several different heroes that you can kind of mix and match for each game. And basically you're going to be pulling these villain cards that are going to go through the city and try to escape the city, and you're going to be trying to attack these villains and ultimately defeat the mastermind, which if you defeat the mastermind, you win the game. So this is a cooperative game, and that's what's unique about it, because most deck building games I've played to this point are not cooperative, and so you work together with your teammates. You can actually play this game by yourself too, which is another nice addition, but basically you're working together to defeat the game. So basically this is a card game. You're going to get a lot of cards in this box, and you get this giant board, and that's about it. The card stock is pretty good. I like it for the most part. The art, I mean, this is Marvel art. This is like pulled from the comic pages pretty much. I mean, I think it's original, but it's great art. If you like the art of comics, you're going to love the art of this game. And other than that, you have the box. Now, the box is huge. It's kind of an expensive game, but it has a nice amount of space for expansion. This game has lots of expansions, so it has a nice kind of plastic tray to house your new cards as you get them and expand to this game. But other than that, the components are great, and I love this board, as I mentioned, on how it kind of has a place for everything in the game. This game isn't overly difficult, but there is some reading to do. It has a sizable instruction manual, but there's a lot of pictures and a lot of instructions, and it walks you through pretty easily how to get through your first game and stuff. And of course, if you have any deck building game knowledge, you're going to kind of pick up on this pretty quickly. But again, this has the added twist of it actually being a cooperative type game where you're basically facing off against the game itself as a team. And you know, there's just a couple nuanced rules with that, but overall, I think the cards do well to explain what they do. You'll have to play it, you know, a couple of times to get the hang of it, but once you do, it's pretty easy to understand, and which leads me into the fun factor. Let's go talk about that. So is it fun? Well, yeah, it's super fun. This is one of my favorite deck building games. It's, you know, prior to that, Resident Evil was probably my favorite, but I love the cooperative nature of this game and the way that you fight the board. I'm always a big fan of cooperative games and defeating the game itself versus player type games. But this one's great. I haven't picked up any expansions yet, but I mean, I would love to. It's just a great game to play with friends. It's even, you can play it by yourself, and I don't do that really. I've played a couple of games by myself before in the past, but this one would definitely work well for that. There's enough variety in the cards and stuff and the way you can mix and match it, so no two games are going to be the same. It's really a great fun game. Overall grade, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is going to get my S rank. This is just a fantastic game. It's one of the best deck building games out there. If you enjoy deck building games, then I would definitely recommend this game, especially if you enjoy Marvel and the comics and stuff. I think there are other legendary themed games for different franchises out there. This is the only one I've tried so far, but oftentimes I'm trying to find good games to play with just like me and my wife, and so two-player games that are engaging and fun are hard to find. Co-op games a lot of times work well with that, and this is another one that's really great for two players if you're just looking to have fun with you and your wife or a friend or whatever. Two players, it's awesome. So thanks for checking out my video, and remember to subscribe to see more review videos and other type of videos. If you want to watch more review videos, I'll have a annotation link there that you can click on to find a playlist of all my reviews, and stay up to date on my Facebook page. Check that out, and as always, until next time, keep YouTubing it up.